What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel, and to a slightly different video on the channel, that is, admittedly, with my FIFA 21 Ultimate Team starter guide, as I'm sure you're all aware now from the thumbnail and title, going over some of the basics for starting your club, addressing some of the standout changes ahead of this year's game, and trying to give some pretty helpful tips going into Ultimate Team. And so anyways, just before we get on to all of that, make sure to subscribe to the channel with your notifications on if you haven't already. Of course, it's free and very important to helping me out and the channel a hell of a lot, and in doing so I will obviously keep you up to date with the latest and greatest FIFA news and content as we head on into the upcoming season. And then lastly, is the last detail for this intro, I do want to mention that if we can smash the like goal today of 30 likes, I'd say, on today's video, I will post a second episode focusing in more so on how to make coins in Ultimate Team, you know, more in depth trading and whatnot. With all of that out of the way, we will get on with the video now. I'm starting with the first detail, and a pretty big one at that, being EA Play. This, if you're not aware, is EA Access and the Origin membership being combined to create, you know, just something that offers early access, but also allows you to have all these free games that maybe EA have turned around and said, these games are past the tenure now, we're happy to just give them out for free and let people have fun on these games. So of course you will see like Sims and Star Wars and all that. And if you're not interested in that and solely based on FIFA, this still offers the fact that you can get the 10-hour trial, which will allow you to, you know, you play your games early and get that head start ahead of everyone. And of course, this is a major detail. Every year now and again, we do find exploits that allow you to carry on playing past the 10 hours, but I'm not sure what EA do when it comes to banning people, so I'd be careful doing that. As we move on to the second detail now, which is a pretty big change to Ultimate Team itself, the fact that we now have match caps in the amount of games that you can actually play in a week on Rivals, where it'll count to your MMR, to your score if you will, so you won't be able to D-rank as efficiently. And of course, they're trying to implement this because it does, and it is a proven factor that works with squad battles, so it's quite similar in that sense. This is obviously familiar to most players, if not all, and all it basically means is we're going to have a certain amount of games that will affect, you know, our score, our visions, and then after that we're just playing for fun, maybe for coins or, you know, to complete objectives as we go on through the year. And as you can see, it's quite similar to squad battles in that sense, the fact that you can now actually qualify in Rivals to get your first division by playing offline to judge your skill level, which is quite interesting. I don't know if this will be in the full game, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't advertise it if it wasn't like an end product sort of thing. So I do expect this to see at the start of the game. You'll be able to play against, you know, other people's squads that are relatively similar to yours, going into, you know, trying to prove the game which sort of skill rank you're at. This will obviously help with, you know, trying to build up your squad if you're not quite as good, but maybe you flukily won some games, and it might still work with offline, but there's a skill gap there. And then obviously I thought I'd just throw in the FUT Champs rewards details in, because obviously now it's top 200 instead of top 100, which is very interesting, and I'm pretty sure they did that just because this year on PlayStation there were people that got like 29-0 or 29-1 that didn't get top 100, and that must be so painful. And then of course lastly for Rivals, where obviously they've added this brand new exciting co-op lobby, co-op mode for Ultimate Team that, you know, you'll be able to just play with your mates and it'll be a lot of fun. Guess what? There is a big hindrance here in that if you was to play co-op with somebody who had played their full 30 games of the week, you will also be to that detriment. You will not get these scores, and it will not add to your rank. So in that sense, you do have to be careful with who you're playing co-op with, and maybe avoid playing co-op at the very start. I know it's very exciting, it will be hard for a lot of you, including myself, but you just have to focus on your own club, focus on your own team, and trying to build it that way instead of playing co-op. And then maybe once the game's settled in a bit, then maybe play it. As we move on to ones to watch, which is obviously the first promo that we do see in FIFA since its release in like FIFA 18 or something. And basically all this means is these players that have newly transferred, of course, will just get these brand new dynamic cards that will get upgrades throughout the year, you know, if the players do perform well and get informs. Basically, as you can see, the dates are there. From the 1st to the 9th of October, we will have the normal cards in packs. Once the promo kickstarts, usually around that time that we do see these cards come in, and it's only like a week or so. And here you can see some examples of some players. These graphics are maybe like a week or so old, so some of these players have already signed or are very close, and maybe just not rumours anymore. Obviously Chilwell is a good example of somebody who's obviously just confirmed to have gone to Chelsea, so he wouldn't be a rumour anymore, of course. but less so on the details on the actual graphics, more so on the game. That's what you're interested in. And here, as you can see, these players, really big names, players that are going to be very exciting come FIFA 21, and there's only a couple in here that are actually confirmed to be in there, like Werner, but expect to see most of these just because it's going to be a really big transfer window in world football, and I'm pretty sure they'll want to, you know, drive the sales of these packs and these cards, so expect a lot of the big name transfers to be in the ones to watch promo. And so far, covering EA Play, ones to watch, and FUT Champs and Rivals, you know, very important things. But you know, you want to boost your club by earning all these coins and getting these crazy teams, and they're the next details that I will bring up now, with SBCs as a very pivotal thing in FIFA. Since they got introduced, it's really changed the way the Ultimate Team works for a lot of people. Not so much need for coins if you have assets, and it's trying to get that good balance. And as you can see, I did make some more graphics, which of course, if you're interested, go and follow my Twitter within my description, as well as my Instagram, because this is where I'll post like all these graphics that I make, and you know, I'll just put it together up there. Make sure to go show your support if you do enjoy what I have to offer here. But basically all this is just a little edit showing example of a few SBCs that could be coming, and it would make sense considering that, you know, EA are very generous with the cards they bring out, and the Batshuayi one may be more representative of the kind of card level sort of meta play that we will get come the start of the year. And of course, when it comes to building your squad, you need to make smart investments on Ultimate Team, not just throwing around coins into SBCs and trying to coin flip and getting it completely wrong. So there'll be a lot of discords around, you know, on the internet, where there'll be a lot of people who have traded for many years on Ultimate Team that can help you a lot. And basically all this is just showing that there are a lot of these players that, you know, at the very start of the game are very expensive or very cheap, and vice versa. And all that means is just make the right investments. You want to use FUTBin primarily as just something to reference, you know, how much these cards are worth, and then how much they may inflate after you buy them, and make sure that you don't buy somebody when they're already inflated, because when the price goes down you lose money, and that's the entire opposite to what you want. And as you can see from the squad builders, this is just, you know, it's a concept. As you can see, one of them actually had a custom formation, which would never really be in the game, though I really wish it was. And basically all that is just saying, let's say you make all these investments, you make the right SBC choices, you use all your SBC fodder early on, like the Player of the Month Pookie that came out last year in FIFA 20, or, you know, some other examples. And all that basically is just make the right investments. When you see a card that you're interested in, don't go get them because they're good. Get them because they fit in your team, you know, and just try and be smart with it. I definitely wasn't very smart at the start of FIFA 20, but you get to learn, and, you know, you get to improve on your decision making, and that's one of the main problems that people have. They just throw their coins in because it's just temptation after temptation. Be smart. Don't go throwing your coins around. Save up as much coin balance as you can whilst building a pretty meta team if you can. Know that from what I've seen anyway, the demo, or the beta rather, is quite slow, but a good slow, if you know what I mean. So we're on about clunky players that feel pretty clunky, but they have certain attributes like strength or good heading that will actually be pretty prevalent come, you know, the in-game matches. And it looks quite balanced this year, but of course the beta is nothing like the full game when it fully releases, and with every pitch notes and updates come out, the game does change a hell of a lot. And so in that sense, just keep wary of the sort of players that you're getting in your squad when the web app comes out in mid-September, and just try and not put together a team too early that's maybe, you know, pretty useless in the game, as we don't know what the meta will be. There'll always be like a main sort of way to play the game, or type of player to choose in your squad. That does pretty much sum up my video today. Like I said, I wasn't going to go into too much depth, but of course if we hit that like total, I will go in depth with a lot of the trading aspects of the game, and trying to give you guys some tips, you know, to help yourself out. So if we can reach that like goal, I will post a video very shortly after this to, you know, explain all that. And yeah, like I said, that is pretty much sum up the video, so make sure to hit the subscribe button with your notifications on to never miss any uploads, and let's roll on FIFA 21. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.